All the bees out of the studio, so Shel Pellegrino has deigned to join us for the Business Bulletin. He's looking today at what a Trump presidency could mean for the economy, the US economy, of course, this time, and we're zeroing in on his plan to massively deport the country's undocumented immigrants. How much would that cost then, Shel?
So there were an estimated 11 million undocumented immigrants in the United States in 2022, and according to the American Immigration Council, a one-time operation for such a mass deportation program would total close to $315 billion. The bill for the government would be split on four different expenses: $89 billion for immigration authorities to conduct arrests, for instance, with workplace raids, $167 billion incurred then to detain those arrested as they await legal processing, which would then cost about $34 billion. And finally, the actual cost of deporting people to their country of origin would be about $24 billion. If this policy were to continue past this one-time operation, meaning that new arrivals would also be deported in subsequent years, the organization has calculated that over 10 years, the total cost could be over $967 billion.
Well, that's how much it could cost the US government, but what impact could it have on the US economy?
Well, overall, a mass deportation would lead to a loss of 4.2 to 6.8% of annual GDP, according to that same report. That's about $1.1 to $1.7 trillion. As a point of comparison, the U.S. economy shrank by 4.3% during the Great Recession between 2007 and 2009. Among the reasons for this loss would be that deportations would exacerbate the labor shortage in the country. Almost 90% of all undocumented immigrants are of working age, compared with 61% for the U.S.-born population. These are also people who, while undocumented, pay taxes and contribute to Social Security, for instance. There are also entrepreneurs who generated over $27 billion in business in 2022. And several key national industries would be badly hurt, like construction, which would lose 1 in 8 workers.
One crucial sector that could be affected, of course, is agriculture.
Let's look at California's agricultural sector, for instance. It produces 1/3 of the country's vegetables and 3/4 of the country's fruits and nuts. And that sector is powered by a huge undocumented workforce, about 1.2 million people nationally. So deportations would lead to issues sustaining food supply at the same capacity. And it's unclear that these workers would be replaced by U.S.-born workers who have so far been unwilling to take on jobs that are underpaid and dangerous, notably with exposure to pesticides. This low-cost labor force is also what has allowed California to be a food exporter, with over $24 billion of produce going abroad in 2023. So deportations would slow production down and lead to increased prices for grocery store staples. It would also lead the country to increase how much food it imports, which would expose it more to price fluctuations and potentially as well to Trump's planned import tariffs. The irony here is that quite a few employers on American farms supported Trump's campaign in spite of the damage it would bring to their business. But many specialists actually believe that they support the plan because just the threat of deportation could stop undocumented workers from engaging in labor organizing, thereby keeping costs very low.
Okay, we shall see what comes up out of a Trump presidency, of course.